This back wall is going to be shelves, like IKEA Besta shelves, so they're quite deep. So loads of room for like craft stuff and for bigger desks. So the shelves arrive on Sunday. Hopefully build them on Sunday. Really depends on when they arrive and how much I can be bothered. So spoiler alert, we did not build one shelf on Sunday because I had help. My partner very kindly got the brainworms about building furniture as much as I did. So despite the fact that the furniture wasn't delivered until 2, maybe, we built all 3 shelf units and the desk in one fell swoop. I didn't film any of it because this is still very new as a thing, and I don't know how I feel about subjecting my household to being on YouTube also. But honestly, it went fairly smoothly, so I'm not really sure that would have been interesting to watch. The next morning, I got up early and covered the desk because the original colour of the tabletop is ugly. The desk was perfect I wanted a mechanical sit-to-stand desk so that I would feel more confident in trying to fix it if it broke. I needed it to be a very specific size to fit in this room, and I needed it to be a reasonable price. But unfortunately, the only one that IKEA did that matched my specifications, frankly, the only one I could find on the internet that matched my specifications, had an ugly desktop. So I bought some vinyl from DC Wrap, and I got up early the next morning before work and covered the desk. I've never done anything that big before. I've done, like, in school we used to have to laminate your book covers so that they would survive the school year. And we did a lot of it at the library where I used to work as well, covering things in plastic like that. So I understand the general principles, but I've never done anything that big. So I was quite careful, but also making it up as I went along. Obviously didn't look up any tutorials beforehand. It is very slightly wonky, but not that you would notice because of the way that the grain sits on the desk. I think it's absolutely fine. It just meant that when it came to folding down the edges and trimming off the excess, that there was a corner where there wasn't quite enough to go around and a corner where there was quite a lot. Other than that, it went quite well. There's no bubbles on the surface. It seems quite hard wearing so far, and it fits the style of the room so much more. Everything else is faux wood, frankly, because it's all IKEA. So, well, no, that's not true. That one's Argos, and this one I bought. This one is wood. It's probably the only real wood thing in the room, which I bought at a car boot sale when I was at uni. But yeah, there's sort of beigey, grey, pink colour that it was. Just didn't suit anything at all. And now it's this beautiful faux oak, which is really nice. It just makes my heart happy every time I open the door, which is sort of the point of this room. So, achievement achieved. So the next thing I did was unpack all those boxes, which probably took me about 3 days. Obviously not working flat out, like I have other things to do. So I was right, unpacking was 2 phases. Phase 1, get it all out of the boxes, put it on the shelves, see why that looks bad. And it just looked so cluttered. It was so busy and full, and it looked like I didn't have enough space. And I was like, I've just filled a wall with shelves. How do I not have enough space? Like, I had nothing like this level of space in the old house, and it fit. So there's got to be a better way to do this. So then I spent the next few days taking a shelf out at a time and redoing it or swapping them around, made a plan, and loosely followed it, although I think I will have to make more space for kind of crafty oddments and less space therefore for books, which is slightly annoying because it means I'll have to double stack a lot of the books, but I'll get over it. Frankly, it's a small price to pay for having control over my own space. It's not all perfect yet, so some of the shelves I'm really pleased with. The notebooks and kind of tarot and games shelf I really love. The fabric shelves I'm quite pleased with, even though the mending over spills at the moment, but that's because I found a lot while I was unpacking that I was like, I would like to do something to this to make it nicer to wear. Plus, I haven't done any mending since the beginning of the year, probably, so my pile's a little bit overflowing. The dice shelf could do with work because the dice box itself is so big and not flat, so trying to work out how to put things nicely around that is quite hard work. The minis shelf I'm quite pleased with. It needs something. I think I just need to paint more of the big minis. Maybe I'll paint some bears and some orcs, and kind of the minis that are out are the ones that don't fit in the caddies, essentially. So it would be great if they were painted and then they would just look great. 10 out of 10, no notes sort of thing. Some of the shelves are a bit, stuff has to go here, which could be better, but I think the big effort is over and done, and it looks nice in the back of Zoom calls, which is fundamentally when I'm going to see it the most often. I can see everything. I know exactly what I've got, pretty much. It would be nice to actually do some craft. I haven't really done any projects since the beginning of the year, basically, because I was doing my dissertation, so I couldn't really excuse the time to do anything else. And then we were moving, so everything was in boxes, and even if it wasn't in boxes, there was always, oh, I could do that craft, I still have, no wait, one of those things is in a box. But yeah, now that it's all out of boxes, there's no excuses, and I can just get stuck in, which is perfect timing, because if I want to do any handmade Christmas presents, I'm running out of time. So yeah, hopefully that was interesting. Hopefully you enjoyed the process of sorting and dream fulfillment that was. Things will start to settle down a little bit now. I'm not going to make any promises about what project will happen next, partly because I don't think anyone's watching yet, so that kind of takes the pressure off. But will be soon time to actually film a project, which will be a new thing, and I'm really excited to share it with you. So stick around if that's of interest. All that like and subscribe stuff is fun if that's your jam. I don't have a proper sign off yet, so take care. See you soon.